Salutations citizens, Jackman here with a brand new show, Heroes in Gaming, a retrospective look at various non-gaming heroes' appearances in video games over the years. And what better hero to start with than one of my all-time favourites, Captain Marvel. Now, when I say Captain Marvel, I of course mean Captain Marvel, and not Captain Marvel or Captain Marvel. Specifically Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel, but we'll also take a quick look at Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel. Hopefully that's cleared things up. So, who is Captain Marvel? Originally the title belonged to the inventively named Kree hero Mar-Vell, but like most superheroes he was exposed to a carcinogenic nerve gas and died of cancer in the 80s. The moniker trickled down through several other more forgettable heroes over the next 30 years, before eventually dribbling onto its current owner in 2012, Carol Danvers, aka Miss Marvel, aka Binary, aka Warbird, aka Alison Brie, the half-human, half-Kree ex-Air Force pilot whose powers, like most superheroes, awoke after being exploded. And if that origin story sounds wrong, it's because Marvel recently retconned it, as they do. Right, enough of that, let's look at the games. Now, you might be thinking, hang on, I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance and I don't remember Mar-Vell being playable. And you'd probably be right, because for some reason he was exclusive to the PSP version. In fact, even if you did play the PSP version, you still might not have played as him, because the default version was Genis Vell, Mar-Vell's kind of insane kind of son. Mar-Vell, as well as Mar-Vell, the ultimate Captain Marvel, could be unlocked by defeating certain amounts of enemies with the Captain and then completing his comic book mission. Alternatively, you could press up, down, left, right, start in the team menu, and just unlock all the costumes immediately like I did, which for the purposes of this video was a godsend. Thank you, Game FAQs. Superhero Squad Online was a kid-friendly browser-based MMO that prided itself on being a kid-friendly browser-based MMO and very little else. Captain Marvel could be unlocked either with in-game or premium currency, something that I actually went through the trouble of doing, but when I went back to record the footage, I discovered that the game had conveniently shut down the day before. I even unlocked a smaller Captain Marvel sidekick that would follow you around. I had a yo dog joke lined up and everything. It would have been great. I promise.
New heroes. New villains. A new battle. Who will rise to victory? Features shown require paid membership. Ask your parents' permission to play.
Alright. This one is a massive technicality. This isn't so much Captain Marvel as much as it is a penguin wearing a Captain Marvel costume. But I like technicalities, so here we are. Yes, Flightless Bird Simulator Club Penguin has the honour of featuring the first video game appearance of Carol Danvers' costume as part of the second Marvel Takeover event in April 2013. Sadly, as the costume was only available during this event, I couldn't get one, but since the game closed down in March 2017, even the people who did have one now don't.
Today, the final triumph of Victor Von Doom begins.
After the critically languid Superhero Squad Online, Gazillion released the second game of their 10-year contract with Marvel. The F2P MMO ARPG, MH, officially launched on June 4th, 2013, or a few days earlier if you pre-purchased a character pack or bundle. Carol was initially available as Miss Marvel, which I wouldn't normally count, but this ugly-ass thing was also available alongside her. Yes, terrible costume as it is a Captain Marvel costume, and if I'm counting the penguin, I'm counting this. Fortunately, in October 2015, the character was officially renamed Captain Marvel and was given a significantly improved default costume, and in September 2014, an enhanced Mar-Vell costume was launched, allowing you to do exactly the same things you could do as Carol Danvers, but with a gravelier voice. Both costumes were also available in the console port Marvel Heroes Omega, released in June 2017. I say were because Disney ended their relationship with Gazillion in November 2017 after allegations of harassment and sexual misconduct were made about the CEO, putting an abrupt end to both the game and company. Because the only thing better than collecting cards is collecting cards but not physically owning them, Marvel War of Heroes enjoyed a few years of success allowing people to do just that. Launched in October 2012 and unlaunched in May 2016, the game offered players the chance to look at pictures of Carol Danvers, Mar-Vell and Genis-Vell. Carol's first card, Avenger Captain Marvel, was released in November 2013, Mar-Vell's Protector of the Universe Captain Marvel was released in February 2013, and Genis-Vell's Legacy Captain Marvel was released in September 2014, which makes it a little tricky to place this game in a chronological list. A few other Captain Marvel cards were released before the game eventually closed down, but fortunately their artwork is still available to gawk at. A game named for its design brief, Run Jump Smash features super deformed versions of Marvel's finest heroes and Red Hulk, endlessly dashing, leaping and crashing through assorted New York locales. Cap is available for either an absurd amount of in-game currency or about a cheeseburger's worth of out-game currency. Or at least she was. The game closed in October 2015 and sometime after that stopped accepting purchases for its premium currency. Unfortunately, unlocking Captain Marvel this time around was far too tedious even for me, but fortunately the game features a test mode of sorts for characters, so this will have to do.
Become the greatest S.H.I.E.L.D. agent of all time. Marvel Avengers Alliance. Coming soon, only on Facebook.
Yes, it's that Facebook game your aunt would keep sending you invites to play back in 2012. Whilst Avengers Alliance launched in March of that year with Ms. Marvel, her Captain Marvel costume wasn't added until March 2014, as the reward for mastering Chapter 4 of Season 2. To do that, you simply needed to own Bishop, Black Panther, Captain Britain, Colossus, Cyclops, Deadpool, Domino, Emma Frost, Hank Pym, Hawkeye, Hercules, Hulk, Mockingbird, Mr. Fantastic, Ms. Marvel, Sif, Spiral, Storm, Thor, Wasp and X-23. Fortunately, the game closed down in September 2016, so I didn't have to do any of that. Thank God.
Marvel Puzzle Quest. Choose your battle for free today.
Marvel's flagship gem matching game, until they inevitably sunsetted and make another one, Puzzle Quest first introduced Captain Marvel as part of the catchily named Unstable ISO 8 No. 4 event in July 2014, and have since released 2 other versions. Actually getting any of them is a bit of a lottery. In fact, it's literally a lottery, as all you can do to get them is cross your fingers and hope you draw one of them from their respective comic packs. Alternatively, you can buy the console version, which allows you to unlock the older version of the character just by playing through the game's campaign, and doesn't require navigation of the free-to-play version's various currencies.
When worlds collide, our only hope is you. Marvel Avengers Alliance Tactics.
If you blinked any time in the second half of 2014, you probably missed Avengers Alliance Tactics, as it was only available for a scant 4.5 months between June and October on Facebook. Obviously not the roaring success of the game it spun off from. Captain Marvel was available for 16 CP, and with that, I run out of things to say about the game, other than to thank the Inhuman Beatdown for allowing me to use his footage of the game. Toys to Life video game sequel Disney Infinity Marvel Superheroes introduced Cap as a quest giver as part of both the Avengers and Spider-Man playset in September 2014 when the game launched. She was later added as a special team-up power disc in March 2015, available exclusively in North America as part of a GameStop promotion. Fortunately, eBay is a thing if you're outside of that region. As power discs are forward compatible, this also means that she can be summoned in the 2015 sequel Disney Infinity 3.0, and you can finally get that Captain Marvel Chewbacca team up that the fans have been begging for. Many were hoping for Cap to get her own figure alongside the release of the Captain Marvel movie, but sadly Disney did what Disney does and discontinued the series in 2016, which is fine. It's not like I was leaving a space at the front of my collection explicitly for her or anything. Yeah, that'll do. Thanks to Capcom, it wouldn't be inaccurate to say that Kabam's tap-and-swipe mobile fighting game is the most successful Marvel fighting game of the last 5 years. Featuring Cap since launch, actually unlocking her to play is tricky, as you have to navigate Contest of Champions' various gem-based gachas, or fork out some real-world cash when there's a relevant bundle available. But there's plenty of opportunities to beat her up in the campaign, which is what I ended up doing after spending far too much money on shards. I got a pretty cool Spider-Gwen though, so that's neat. This unloved mobile co-op brawler barely made it a year before getting the axe. I'm guessing because a better mobile co-op brawler released literally a month later. And I'm guessing because I literally cannot find a news article reporting on Mighty Heroes being shut down. Anyway, Captain Marvel was in it, let's move on.
You are humanity's last hope in the new blockbuster mobile action RPG. Marvel Future Fight.
The aforementioned better co-op mobile brawler has the esteemed accolade of being one of the few mobile games on this list that still actually exists. And whilst it does have a gacha system for getting new characters, Future Fight will give you multiple chances to just pick a character to unlock as you play, a feature I am incredibly grateful for. There are also premium costumes you can buy if you want to spend the cash, most recently one based on her movie appearance that transforms and has a new special move. And even if you don't want to unlock her, Cap also appears in Chapter 13 of the main campaign, and as part of a special legendary mission based on the movie. In an attempt to one-up other Marvel mobile games, Kabam decided to cancel this one before it even properly came out. After a soft launch in only a handful of countries in July 2015, the game never made it any further than that and was officially canned in January 2016. Because of this, there's barely any footage of the game, and none of Captain Marvel that I can find. I only know that she was actually in this game because of promotional images with her in. The Marvel-flavoured game adaptation of Disney's weirdly adorable slug monsters, Marvel Tsum Tsum was a game that involved creating a team of Tsums, dropping them into a ball, and then destroying them. Actually not bad fun, but unlocking specific characters through the game gacha was a chore, especially when, as new characters were added, the chances of getting a specific character went down. Still, if you were lucky enough to get Cap, you could enjoy popping her little face right up until, you guessed it, the game closed in October 2017.
Is that the best you can do?
All new LEGO Marvel's Avengers.
While she wasn't included in the original release, Cap was later added as DLC in March 2016, in which you beat up Poundcakes and Yon Rog. Yeah, I don't know who they are either. If you've played a LEGO game before, you should know what to expect, and if you haven't, well, go play one. They're fun. You can easily beat her campaign in about half an hour, but having the DLC unlocks Cap in free play in the main game, so there's that. Whether it was trying to recapture the magic of the first game, or just trying to wring the wallets of their player base a little more before the end, Avengers Alliance 2 had a brief stint on mobile platforms with Captain Marvel one of the original unlockable characters, assuming you could get lucky enough in the gacha. Sadly, the gameplay wasn't the only similarity to the first game, as it closed down just 6 months after launching on September 30th, 2016, the same day as the original Avengers Alliance closed. Pinball FX has a pack called Marvel's Woman of Power, which features Captain Marvel's face on the playfield. That's it. Seriously.
Captain America. Oh, I appreciate your work ethic, but if you wouldn't mind setting that down for just a moment. I want to be mad, but you're the first polite person I've met.
Avengers Academy, the creative high school reimagining of the Marvel Universe that was trapped inside a tedious city builder, released Captain Marvel as the ultimate prize of their A-Force Winter event in December 2016. Unlocking her required committing a substantial amount of time and or money to the 4-week event that involved throwing snowballs at ice giants and punching elves or something. But once you had, you could enjoy watching Cap punch meteors, throw snowballs, or ride a bike with She-Hulk, right up until school was out permanently and the game was cancelled in February 2019. After a 6-year break following the release of the incredibly popular Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the fighting game community was hyped for the series' newest entry with Captain Marvel as the poster child, featuring predominantly in the reveal trailer and the collector's edition. Whilst Cap is one of the better characters and features heavily in the game's campaign, a multitude of problems with the presentation, visuals and sound design, coupled with a small roster missing many of the series' mainstay characters, has somewhat marred what should have been a high point on this list, with Infinite having been largely sidelined by both Capcom and the FGC. But hey, at least you can still play it, which is more than you can say about most of the games on this list.
I've seen bigger.
Cap's second stint as an interlocking construction brick minifigure is a far more fleshed out one. Introduced early in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2 in the game's second mission as part of the Undersea section, Captain Marvel of course, well known for her swimming, she reappears frequently across the course of the campaign. Otherwise, I mean, it's a LEGO game, you know the deal here. Yes, another blink and you'll miss it game, but in a twist, this one's not on mobile. Endtime Arena was a free-to-play MOBA that only ever released in Korea. It couldn't quite get the player base it needed to sustain it, and shut down after only 10 months. Captain Marvel was available from launch as one of the initial heroes, and that's pretty much all I know. I mean, the game was in Korean, I don't know anything about MOBAs anyway. But thanks to Sugi Khan for letting me use their footage of the game, though.
That one's for the bugle! This is awesome!
Captain Marvel was used as one of the 3 heroes in the reveal trail for Powers United VR, alongside Hulk and Rocket Raccoon, before being replaced by a safer, more recognisable team of heroes in the launch trailer. Still, it's cool that Cap is getting more limelight as time goes on. An Oculus Rift exclusive means that poorer gamers, like myself, won't be able to play this one, which is a shame, because it looks kind of fun to shoot beams and yell catchphrases with your friends. So, Battlelines is basically tic-tac-toe, except with superheroes and special moves, and you can move your noughts and crosses and kill them, and sometimes you can just get up and punch the other player. Cap currently has 2 hero cards, 2 leader cards, and 1 ability card, her normal hero card being acquired in a few ways, but most notably via the game's gacha, and her leader card through the special ops missions, which aren't available until later on. Everything else is available as part of the ongoing event celebrating the movie. Not sure how you get them after that, but I wouldn't worry too much. It's a Marvel mobile game, so there's a good chance they will have sunset it and turned off the servers by the time you're hearing this.
Alright, it's go time. Now get out there and save the world.
At time of recording, Captain Marvel isn't actually available to play in the turn-based RPG Strikeforce, as you can't start collecting her shards until the 14th of March. But she was added to the game in February, so I'll count it. What this means is I don't really have anything to say about the character, or much footage of her. She looks alright though. So there we have it, a hopefully comprehensive list of every game Captain Marvel has appeared in so far. I say hopefully because some of these games barely exist, so it's entirely possible something came and went and no one noticed, but I think I got most of them. So, what about the future? We know for a fact that Captain Marvel will be appearing in the upcoming action RPG, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 The Black Order, due out later this year. It's also possible she'll appear in Square Enix' untitled Avengers game in the works, though this is Square Enix, so it could be a few years. There's also a Marvel game being worked on by Second Dinner, a new game studio led by ex-Hearthstone devs, that we don't know anything about, but given her recent record, there's a good chance she'll feature in that too. As for anything else, that's anyone's guess, as Marvel are out of the habit of creating character-specific games like Captain America and Iron Man, favouring ensemble games instead, Spider-Man being the exception. It's unlikely we'll ever get a Captain Marvel video game, but with the recent release of her film, it's almost guaranteed that Captain Marvel is going to continue to be a regular face in Marvel games going forward. And as Marvel mobile games have a habit of popping up out of nowhere and releasing shortly after, we might get something as soon as next week. Who knows? Not me. What I do know, though, is that whatever it is, it will likely close down 6 to 12 months later. So there we go. The first episode of Heroes in Gaming. I hope you enjoyed that. I would like to make more of these, but it very much depends on the success of the first one, because these take quite a lot of time, and in this particular instance, quite a lot of money to make. So I'm not going to bother making any more if no one's going to bother watching them. But if you watch them, I'll make some more. And if there's a hero you would like me to do an episode on, let me know. I'm not going to do anything like Batman or Superman or Spider-Man or anything like that, because the video would never end. But I'm always up for suggestions for niche heroes, and it doesn't have to be superheroes. I will basically consider anything non-video game. And if you like the sound of my voice, why not check out some of my other videos? This is literally the only video on this channel that is anything like this, though. I will warn you. I mostly do Let's Plays either by myself or with friends. But I think I'm pretty funny, so maybe you will too. Or you won't, and then you can tell me otherwise. Either way, I get the views, so I don't mind. Anyway, until next time, citizens, Jackman, out. Yep, there we go. Don't fight to kill, just fight to stun. That's the Claire Redfield way. And you'll live to shoot zombies with your gun. The second part of the rhyme comes before the that's the Claire Redfield way.